about these things even though she's never seen a real magic sword in person. Solon is curious and asks how exactly she was able to tell what it was. She smiles brightly and explains that it's because the famous Solon is a magic swordsman too. Solon is caught off guard hearing his own name and repeats it back to her. Clarice enthusiastically confirms that's who she's talking about. She asks David if he's heard of him, gushing about how Solon is incredibly cool and how she's actually a massive fan of his. Clarice starts listing off his legendary feats, like saving a sane test and fearlessly taking on demons.
Yo, how's it going?
She calls a bunch of nights, while the real Solon sits right there thinking he is nearly as impressive as she's making him out to be. As she keeps praising him, Solon realizes he has never made the right move by not using his real name. Clarice goes on about how inspiring it is that Solon started as great as he is. Some people slice after Solon's night very together. Solon just listens, giving a plain response.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm on Anime Guardians. Sometimes I'm on Anime. Sometimes I'm on Anime Guardian. I'm on Anime Guardian. Sometimes I'm in Rogue Piece. Sometimes I'm in Sailor Piece. Sometimes ALS. You know, it just depends on what I want to play. They keep nerfing in ALS, so ain't no point in me really playing it. Like, I'll just keep nerfing shit.
That's how the story is their balance. Solon moves quickly and catches Clarice before she can get hurt, holding her steady. He asks if he's okay, and she manages to thank him while still trying to process what just happened. Clarice looks around nervously.
Yeah, I play Rogue Piece. Yeah, I play Rogue Piece. I've been trying to catch up the last couple of days. My only problem is I've been trying to get Sasuke, but the problem was the title. I cannot get the title for the life of me. Even though that's supposed to be the easiest thing to get. I have everything. I mostly have just like swords. I don't have any new specs and I don't have any new characters. I don't have Sukuna V2. I don't have Gojo V2, and I do not have Nanoi or Morihjin. Like most of the things I have is like new swords related. I need to get like Toji and Sasuke. I'm over here trying to get like the limited characters right now. And the problem with this event the only problem with this event is I have to clear this like 50 times. I'm almost done with Shinra, but as you can see, I'm done with Broly. Oh, cool. So have I. My only problem is I gotta try to. I'm trying. I hate what I have to do to get Final Dragon. I hate what I had to do to get Final Dragon. But at least they made trading for stuff. At least they actually made it where you can trade a lot of stuff now. They made trading like so fucking good now. Because for the life of me, I was farming. I was farming to try to get Oni horns, but I was like, oh nah, and I could never get it. And then they made trading more viable, so now I got the Oni horns, but now I need to do the challenge dungeons. But now I need to do like challenge dungeons, and that's gonna be a pain in the butt. By the way, yo, welcome to my stream. I stream every once in a while. I took a little break from streaming, but I was still But I'm still grinding in the background, even if I'm not live streaming it, I'm still grinding. Don't get it twisted. Because as you can see, I got Broly. So yeah, I've been grinding. But I need to get Shinra and Mori Jin. That's what also I need to get. And I also need to get Saber because I still don't have Saber from like the second update. I can't blame you. Well, I mean, I can't blame you, especially if there's not like that many good games on it right now. Exactly. That's why I'll be like, yeah, nothing. I can't blame you. There's like nothing to play right now, which is why I say I can't blame you. Well, this one is not even good for me. I can't even. I don't need to do that with no more. What was I at for you? Oh, 33. I'm at 33 for him. I've been trying to catch up in Anime Guardians because that's where I'm at. When it comes out, yo, I might. Yeah, I'm going to try Anime Paradox when it comes out. I mean, sure, I'll be down for it, but what you need help with? Like, I'd be down for it, but what you need help with?
She asks if there's anything they can do to help him out. Someone appreciates the offer and tells them to check if the carriage is still in the negotiations so they can get out of it. David gives them a quick nod and goes to check the carriage.
Getting Toji wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, getting Toji for your first spec was getting Toji for like your first boost is actually really good. Cause what he was my first one actually, and then after I got Toji for like a while after I got freaking Naruto.
David realizes Stolen is holding a memorial service for the dead, though he thinks it's a bit much to go that far for a bunch of bandits. Still, David admits that they couldn't just leave the bodies lying there like that, understanding why Stolen feels the need to do something. Stolen stands alone in the woods while
10 billion. I thought it was a million. I thought it was only 10 million.
hand out. He asks the person
I didn't know it was 10 billion. I thought it was 10 million.
brings forth anyone holding, but he feels like saying something is better than just walking away. David's voice suddenly cuts through the silence, asking if it's going to be much longer, which catches Soma off guard. Soma quickly apologizes and starts heading back toward the carriage to join the others. As the carriage starts moving again under the night sky, Laris mentions to David that he actually seems a lot like Soma. Soma
Ah,
conversation turns to him. He tries to blame him, saying it's an honor to be compared to a legendary guy like that. Laris admits she's never actually met the famous Soma. Soma just listens, thinking it's pretty funny since he's literally sitting right there, but he keeps his mouth shut. Laris goes on to say she's sure the real Soma is just as strong and capable as David has been. Soma just gives a nervous laugh and awkwardly obeys for assessment. He thinks to himself that he's definitely not perfect and can't do everything, but he's just glad they are working for the time being. Laris has a huge smile on her face, saying she's just really happy that they all made it. They have been attacked in one piece. Now that Kendra has more knowledge, she feels safe. Laris admits she's suffering from complaining but heavy. Soma suggests she can catch some sleep because they
no, no, getting Toji. No, getting Toji is pretty good. You should if you're like multiverses. and you're trying to figure out what you need to get, yeah, you definitely should be getting the sword Zangetsu. You should be getting Hoji, and I forgot what freaking and what was the fruit? I'm not even sure about the fruit, but somebody gave me vampire because vampire gave like a very it was a very good boost when it comes to damage. Vampire was like a very good boost when it comes to like melee damage, if you will. If you have like a good fighting style. Wait, you have do you have normal gear 5 or final gear 5? No, because you're doing well. You're doing well, but yeah, you do want to get Zangetsu because that's a good style. That's a good yeah. Because you got Sakuna Gear 5. Do you have Final Gear 5 or normal? Okay, yeah. Because I'm not good how normal, I don't know how good normal Gear 5 is. But vampire is definitely a good fruit. You definitely should be trying to get it. A vampire is good for like melee boost, which after a certain while, that's what I used to like boost my damage for a while was vampire. Until I got actual stuff. Until I actually got like all the up to date stuff. Wait, what title are you trying to get? Wait a minute, what title are you trying to get? I got lucky because I was playing during the anniversary. And during the anniversary, the control title was like in the anniversary shop. So I got kind of lucky. Hard to get gems, brother. Getting gems is easy. Shit, the moment when I start helping you, it's gonna be easy. Brother, you do remember, you don't have to get it from there anymore. You don't have to get the vampire fruit is in the money gotcha now. If you haven't looked at it, I think it was in the money gotcha, wasn't it? I swear vampire fruit was in the money gotcha. For like the fruit gotcha, I swear vampire's in there. Or am I tripping? I'm doing this gate because I'm trying to get a specific relic from her because it's supposed to drop. The money gotcha. You know the belly. So remember the gotcha thing where you spent money to get devil fruits. That one. The place where you spent money to buy devil fruits. I'm pretty sure vampire is in there. Nah, brother, it's not that you stupid. It's more the lines of like the first time we seen the vampire fruit in the game, that was like the only way to get the vampire fruit. At the time, the first time, like the vampire fruit came out, that was like the only way to get it.
After the great battles, Solon looks pretty depressed as he thinks might never this catches Lucy by surprise, and she asks him exactly what it means. Later,
Now that I don't, how is that possible? Have you grinded your stats? Because that shouldn't be possible. By the way, did you even get the rank that you need for Toji? By the way, if you want to get Toji, but you need a race for it. Did you get the race for Toji that you need? Because you need the heavily restricted race.
tries to act like it's no big deal, saying it couldn't be helped because the night that makes
Getting gems in that game is like way easier than fucking getting gems in World Peace. Cause Jesus Christ.
stunned by how angry she's getting on his behalf. He tells her he knows he can't ever be a top-tier powerhouse like Creon and Sophia. Might feel that way. There's more to him than just basic skills. She said she Solon tells her he's going to stay around the Imperial capital for a while, but his first she gives him a confident look and confirms. She tells him and tells him that everything he needs to know is written right there. She gets specific and tells him that he aims to the princess of the empire. I'll wait to tell him. Solon is completely caught off guard by the news. She just gives him a look and tells him that she can have such a big thing. Lucy explains the background of the quest, saying that Princess Julia looks up to adventurers. The princess has been searching for a magic swordsman with strong morals who uses it. Finding someone who actually fits that moral is going to be Lucy tells him she's finally found the right person for the gig. Solon doesn't deny that he fits the description, but he still has to Solon tries to argue, but Lucy shuts him down immediately. She tells him that regardless of what he thinks, he's actually a very good person. She points out that he's actually no things enough to compare to the so it's only natural that the princess would have heard some of his stuff. Solon is really very careful and asks him to Later, Solon makes his way to the palace. A guard stops him to ask what his business is, and Solon shows him the letter which he The guard checks the letter and puts Solon thanks the princess spent for his friends, and looks at Solon's first he wonders if the old man actually meant to for a second and tells himself he can do this. He is the first step inside his game. Lucy's also looking back to his point, how he can use commitments. So if not he decides that
But I say sorry about that. I was eating. But sorry about that. I was eating because I haven't eaten breakfast, so I needed to eat something. I'm a seizure patient. I need to eat something for breakfast, or just anything in general when I take my medicine. Excuse me.
thinking about how he never would have guessed this
I'm
place.
about to say, Drake, you still there or did you leave? I think Drake left. No, nothing. I'm trying to get the accessory from her.
Noting that since the princess's mother passed away, she's had no one to back her up or support her within the palace. She points out that because the princess is so isolated, it was vital to find a tutor who was actually trustworthy. Solon nods along, finally understanding why the stakes are so high for this job. Lucy mentions that the palace reached out to the Magic Academy for a referral, but then she corrects herself. It turns out the request was sent directly to her personal.
Well, nothing. Well, I gotta wait.
But Lucy just says she has her own connection to the princess. She tells him she's just happy they found the perfect person for the role. Looking him straight in the eye,
Well, I gotta wait.
she's counting on him to take good care of the princess. As Solon walks through the palace, he thinks about how he hasn't seen Lucy look that serious in a very long time. It really hits home how important this assignment is. Walking further into the building, Solon spots a maid standing quietly in the middle of the hallway. He notices how young she looks and wonders if she's waiting for someone.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be getting a new Sailor Piece update, and a new Sailor Piece update is supposed to be Alucard.
She introduces herself as Ryu.
It's supposed to be Alucard, so we're supposed to be getting him next.
Rhea gives a polite bow and offers to lead him to the princess's room. Solon thanks her and follows her lead. Solon thanks Rhea for being so
The only problem I got with the Soul Fruit update
for a second.
is literally I need to fight the Donut King to get the Soul Fruit. Problem with that is the Donut King dungeon is it only pops up at random.
Light language prevailed. Solon gets a bit embarrassed and apologizes, admitting that he's just feeling.
I know it's a fun game. The only problem with it takes time to level up, but Sailor Piece is very fun.
Carrying his bag for him.
They just added Sid.
But it's that he doesn't really consider himself a hero. Even though he denies it, Rhea looks him in the eye and tells
It's a fun game. They just added Sid.
She gives him a warm smile and says she's just happy she gets the chance to talk to a hero like this.
And it's not that far. And it's not that far.
Rhea starts walking again and tells him to follow her this way. As they're walking, Rhea stops and calls his name. Solon turns back to see what she needs. Looking down at the floor, Rhea asks him how she could eventually become strong like he is. Solon is caught off guard by the question Rhea just asked him.
Dio over heaven.
She actually wants to be a magic swordsman just like him. She worries she might be overstepping since she's just a beginner, but Solon tells her that's not it at all. He actually thinks she's got more natural talent than he does. Rhea asks if he's being serious, and Solon says he definitely is. He explains that as a magic swordsman himself, he can tell when someone has a real knack for magic. While Solon thinks to himself that she can
Yeah, because I still have these fighting styles.
right training, Rhea gets stars in her eyes and asks if he'll be her master. Solon is totally shocked by the sudden request. Rhea tells him she's sure she can get strong and he's the one teaching her directly. He gives her a bit of an awkward smile and says she might be right, but he's wondering where this is all coming from so suddenly. Rhea takes it a step further and asks if there's any way he can get her to the magic academy. She starts to worry. Rhea looks down at the ground and says she knows Solon realizes he thinks to himself that if Rhea actually had the means to get into the academy, she probably wouldn't be working here as a maid. Rhea seems to snap out of it and looks back at Solon, trying to move the conversation along. She gives
Yeah, but the amount of health I have is stupid. The amount of gems I have, stupid, and the amount of money I have, stupid.
They're almost in the princess's room, but Solon stops her. He calls out for her to wait, and Rhea turns back to see what he wants. Solon looks a bit bashful, but says if she's okay with it, he can at least give her the tries to talk things through with her. He adds that since he's going to be teaching the princess anyway, helping her out is no problem. Rhea's eyes light up at the offer. Rhea asks if he's really serious and makes the promise. Solon says yeah, and she starts jumping for joy while thanking him. He just tells her it's really not a big deal. Moving on, Rhea is in a great mood and tells him to hurry along to the room. Solon follows behind, wondering if he's going to get in trouble for talking so much on his first date. They finally reach their destination. Rhea points to the door and says it's the princess's room, and Solon thanks her for the help. Rhea tells Solon to go right in and swings the door open. The sudden click of the handle and the door
Yeah, see, vampires right here.
This is the 2026 Nissan Rogue.
Is internally losing it because she just barged into the princess's room without even knocking. He panics and tries to stammer out a polite greeting as he steps inside. He follows her. Rhea stops and lets out a confused sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now.
The window is empty, and Rhea notices that the person they're looking for isn't there. She starts looking around the area, wondering out loud where Princess Filia could have gone. But then her mood shifts. Rhea looks down and tells Solon she's sorry for lying to him. She begins fiddling with her hair and explains that she really just wanted to find out what kind of person he actually was. The room goes quiet for a second as the main persona starts to drop away. Rhea tells him she's relieved to see he's as kind as she hoped. Solon looks at her in total shock as it finally starts to click, and he begins to ask who she really is. Standing there with a smile, the girl Solon thought was just a helpful maid is revealed to be Princess Filia herself. Filia formally introduces herself to Solon and reveals that her real name isn't Filia. Solon is visibly shaken as he repeats her name, struggling to process that he's actually standing in front of the princess. He asks for confirmation, and she gives him a simple note. With a cheerful smile, she tells him that for the most part, she really is the princess of this country. The weight of the situation finally sinks in for Solon as he looks out the window, quietly admitting that things make a lot more sense now. Filia sits back and explains her little ruse, telling him she really wanted to see who he was when he wasn't trying to impress royalty. She mentions how people usually get all stiff and nervous around her, and she assumed he would be the same. Solon admits that anyone in their right mind would be nervous in this spot, but Filia tells him she quickly realized her worries were for nothing. She continues, saying that despite how strong he is, he doesn't act arrogant at all. She can tell he's actually a very humble and kind person, even better than the rumors she heard. Solon gets a bit flustered and tries to tell her he's not actually that great of a guy, but he suddenly stops mid-sentence when he sees her move. Filia has a sudden realization and starts to panic. She feels bad for talking so much without even serving in the team, so she tells him to wait while she gets so ready. Solon is horrified and tries to stop her, asking if the princess is really about to prove to herself. Filia just looks back at him and asks if that's supposed to be a problem, seemingly fine with continuing the main act. Solon watches the team being born, looking pretty
Jesus.
stressed out. He thinks to himself that this is
Not a damn thing. What the hell? This family is a lot of this.
Solon tries to step in and offer to do it himself, but Filia just winks at him. She tells him to stop treating her like a little kid and says that making a cup of tea is basically the easiest thing in the world. Filia tells him to keep his eyes open and watch closely. Just then she snaps her fingers and creates a small flash of light to keep things up. Solon is actually pretty impressed, noticing that
No, it's not hard. It's more the lines of I'm supposed to be getting more fruits. No, it's more the lines I'm supposed to be getting more fruits, but every time you see me activate one, it says only 51 when I put in 200. See, look. It says only 51 when I specifically put in the amount of devil fruits I want.
Solon picks up the cup and agrees to this. Solon takes a sip of the hot tea while Filia watches him closely to see his reaction. Filia asks him what he thinks. Solon tells her it's actually great and points out that the tea leaves she used must be the highest quality. Ilya is completely shocked by his comment for a second and asks if he can really tell how good the tea leaves are just by taking one sip. Solon mentions that he's done a bit of studying on the subject and asks if the tea
Because as you see me put in like 55, 100 devil fruits, right? But every time I did it, it said 51. So it deletes like only 50 devil fruits when I put in 100. I'm like, I said 100.
Because of that, he ended up having to learn about all sorts of different things. Ilya suddenly gets a bit quiet and says she's actually really sad. Solon looks at her, feeling a bit surprised by the sudden change in her mood. Solon asks her what she's so glad about. Ilya looks right at him and explains that she's talking about him. She explains that since he's so much more mature than she is, she was actually a bit worried at first. However, she's happy because he treats her like an equal and talks to her normally, just like her maid Rhea does. Ilya smiles, saying she's relieved that he isn't the type of person to get a big head about being a hero or act arrogant because of his status. Solon looks a little awkward and tells her he's honored she feels that way, but he tries to argue. Solon tries to tell her he isn't the great person she thinks he is, but Ilya snaps and tells him to stop. She gets right in his face, insisting that since he's her master now, he needs to stop the formal talk and just speak to her normally. Solon is caught off guard by how sudden this is, but Ilya isn't done. She looks away and adds that she really wants him to stop calling her Your Highness as well. She looks back at him, looking a bit shy, and tells him she wants him to call her by her name, Ilya. Solon says that even if she asks him to, it's a lot to take in at once. He thinks to himself that he really can't just drop all the formalities and talk to royalty like they're old friends. Solon is totally taken aback by her request and lets out a small gasp as he processes how serious she's being. Ilya is literally jumping up and down on the sofa, begging Solon to call her by her name even more. Solon looks pretty stressed and says the situation is already intimidating enough, so he can't just go around saying her name for no reason. Ilya leans in close and says she wants him to call her name even when there isn't a specific reason to talk. Solon looks a bit overwhelmed by her energy and asks if she really enjoys being called by her name that much. Ilya gives him a massive happy smile and confirms
No, they didn't change. What in the hell? This was never a problem before. This is a problem because this was never a problem before. Because it went down.
She's actually pretty much powerless and isolated inside the Imperial Palace. Solon thinks to himself that nobody would normally go out of their way to get close to a princess who doesn't have any real influence. Meanwhile, Ilya looks thoughtful and suggests that maybe she doesn't even need him to use her.
Yo, let's try going to another sea.
Ilya gets excited and tells Solon he should try calling her by just her name without any honorifics right this second. Solon starts to panic and begs her to give him a break, as that's way too much for him to handle. Ilya looks a bit disappointed and says it's too bad he won't do it, but she quickly cheers up and tells him she'll forgive him for now. Solon gives a polite bow and tells Ilya that he really appreciates her being so thoughtful toward him. Ilya looks up at him with a bright smile and says it's nice to meet him once again, calling him by just his name. Solon keeps it professional and says the pleasure is all his. Suddenly realizing the time, Ilya starts running off and says she has to go change her clothes before anyone catches her. Solon is a bit flustered and says he'll step out of the room to give her privacy, but she quickly tells him it's fine and that he should just stay right where he is. As the door closes, Solon stands there looking.
Oh, I'm surprised this is still her. I thought this was gone. By the way, you do need Conqueror's Haki, so you will need to get this Conqueror Haki scroll eventually. You will need this. Trust me, this increases your damage by a lot. The Conqueror's Haki increases your damage by a lot.
She looks up and down and asks him what on earth he is. Solon stays calm and introduces himself, explaining that he's the princess's new tutor. Rhea just gives him a flat, unimpressed reaction as she processes the information.
Alright, making sure.
Smile creeps onto Rhea's face as she looks at him. She asks if he's really the new tutor, and then tells him that he's a poor thing for taking the job. Solon is completely confused and repeats her words back to her, wondering why she called him a poor thing. Rhea starts heading back out and tells him to give the princess a message when she gets back. As she's leaving, Rhea tells him to tell Ilya that she needs to do a much better job of managing her maids.
Taxes, chasing, mountains.
Now that sense, turtle that sense, we all believe to chase this now his sentences to this.
Oh, never mind. I do have one. Never mind. I already have one. But never mind. I do have one already. Never mind. I already have one. I didn't check to see if I had one or not, because I normally don't have a vampire fruit. Because I normally don't have a vampire fruit.
Feeling pretty drained by the whole interaction, he starts thinking back to the best and realizes it's pretty obvious that there's much respect around here. Just then, he hears a also curious to see who's doing that day. It's Ilya, and she immediately apologizes for that awkward situation. Someone tells her it's a big deal. She thanks him. She mentions that it's someone needs to go for their asks her if that person from earlier was actually a maid or not. Ilya tells her that it's actually her own maid. Solon is caught off guard by that and asks if she really only has one person looking after her. Ilya just gives him a bright smile and confirms that yeah, she doesn't have many staff members at all. Solon starts second-guessing himself, wondering if the way he asked that came off as rude or insensitive. He clears his throat to reset the mood and asks where the maid went, saying he'd like to introduce himself properly since they'll be seeing each other around. Solon starts to worry that his question.
What in the hell?
He tells her no, that's not it at all.
Is this you that I'm seeing in front of me? Do we have each other for expression?
Describe why he's so surprised by her situation. Ilya is about to say something else when a small clattering sound catches their attention from across the room. Solon asks what that noise was, and Ilya spots something, pointing out that it looks like a letter has arrived. They walk over to find an envelope sitting in a small slot. Solon can't find the room actually has its own built-in mailbox, while Ilya confirms it's definitely mail. Solon picks up the envelope and hands it over to her. She takes it and thanks him. As she looks at the seal, Ilya mentions that getting mail is actually...
Yeah, I know what fruit it is, but I'm asking if we are friends on her or not.
She goes quiet for a second while staring at the letter, so Solon calls out her name to check if she's okay. Ilya takes a breath and looks at him, finally deciding to be open about what's really going on. She looks Solon right in the eyes and tells him the truth. Her maid is actually missing right now, which is why she's all alone. Solon looks completely blindsided by what Ilya just told him. He's so caught off guard that he can barely process the news. Ilya explains that while her maid is a quiet and serious person, she's also pretty unreliable and tends to mess things up. Because of that, Ilya says there's no way the girl would have just headed back to her family home without saying a word to anyone. Solon listens intently as Ilya's expression turns even more somber. She finishes by pointing out the simple, harsh reality that the girl has vanished. Ilya looks down at the ground, appearing small and discouraged as she confirms that her maid is really gone. She mentions that's exactly why she felt like something was wrong with the whole situation. She looks down at the letter they just found and starts to read what's written inside. The letter is a ransom note stating that they've taken her maid, Clara's captive. It gives a blunt ultimatum, telling Ilya that if she wants the girl to live, she has to come and get her back all by herself. The second Solon hears the name Clara's, he looks totally shocked. The name clearly means something to him, and he starts to look a bit stressed. Trying to be sure, Solon asks Ilya what the girl actually looks like. Ilya describes her as a small, cute girl with flaxen hair who is just a little bit taller than she is. Solon thinks back to the girl he met on the carriage and realizes the descriptions match perfectly. He's convinced that the maid who was kidnapped is definitely the same girl he talked to before. Ilya notices him spacing out and calls his name to get his attention. Solon quickly plays it off like it's nothing, but then tells her they need to stop wasting time and contact the guards right away. Ilya looks completely stunned the moment Solon brings up getting the guards involved. She tells him to wait and shouts that the guards here are no good. She seems totally panicked by the idea of reporting this to the palace security. Solon is caught up and can't quite believe what he's hearing. Solon asks her why she's so against the idea, but then it hits him. He remembers that the ransom letter didn't have an address or name on it. The realization is heavy. Since the letter was delivered directly to her room without being opened by anyone else, it means the kidnapper has to be someone working inside the Imperial Palace. Philia grips her sleeve tightly and admits that she can't trust a single person in the palace. She says she has no clue who is actually an ally and who is an enemy. She looks devastated as she explains that Clarice was the only person she felt she could actually trust. Solon realizes the kidnappers are definitely targeting Philia herself, and while he knows giving up on the maid is technically an option to keep the princess safe, he can't bring himself to suggest it. Solon puts on a kind smile and asks Philia if she thinks she can trust him. Philia just stares at him, completely
Brother, if you want me to help you, I don't. Do we have each other added or no? I mean, because this is my Roblox name right here that you see. So do we have each other added or no?
to be her mentor. There's no way she doesn't trust him. Solon is visibly relieved and says he's glad to hear that. Solon tells her to leave everything to him for the rest of the day. Philia looks at him, softly saying his name as she starts to feel a sense of security. She clutches her chest and asks if he will really be able to save her and bring Clarice back safely. Solon bows deeply with his hand over his heart, telling her that he came to this palace to serve as both her mentor and her subject. He explains that it's a subject's duty to protect their lord and a mentor's job to guide their student. Solon sees how upset she is and tells her to stop looking so sad. He says he's sure Clarice would tell her the exact same thing if she were there. Philia takes a moment to compose herself and gives a firm nod, looking much more determined than before. Now that they've reached an understanding, Solon says they should start getting ready as soon as possible. Philia quickly agrees. Philia points out that her current dress is way too flashy and would stand out, so she decides to go change back into her maid uniform. Solon acknowledges her, and she mentions there's one more thing she needs to check on as she heads toward the door. As she's leaving, Solon remembers something important and calls out to her. Philia stops and asks him what's up. Solon looks serious and asks her if she has any idea why someone would be targeting her in the first place. Philia looks down, her hand trembling against her chest. She admits she has an idea of why she's being targeted, but she hesitates. Philia looks down, her hand trembling.
All right, I sent it to you, I believe. I believe I sent it to you.
Wednesday night is fairly easy. Summoning a good servant is difficult. Whenever there is a holy grail war, specific mages are chosen. And once you are chosen, you become a master. But you can't be a master by yourself. You have to have a servant. And so summoning a servant is not difficult in the slightest. All you have to do is collect the correct materials and draw the chosen servant. And then do the ritual. My house is a free household. Thank you very much. What up, big man? What's good, McClinker? You fucking hypocrite, man. You just said this is a bot-free household. You put some respect on my boy. He's more patriotic than a Ford F-150. His oil runs red, white, blue. You just called him a clanker. Hey, yo. Seriously, what is it? What is up, boys? PT, instead of my boy, I would dab you up, and I like having a rib cage. I don't understand. You say you hate robots, but you're friends with a ton of them. Yeah, I don't fuck with robots that want to destroy sentient life, especially my home planet. Unlike these guys, because they're one of the boys. That one's a war criminal. I don't know the real Canadian. What's oh, thank you very much. What up, some respect on my boy. He's more patriotic than a Ford F-150. His old...
優れた順番
Wait for what game? Just running a spirit build. That's it. I mean, this is what I'm running. No, brother, do you not see how much health this boss has? And low is not the word that I have. Brother, I'm doing more damage than some of the other people. No, brother, you realize I'm already at like 10 damage. I'm already at that high of damage. How do I even get a long card? The heavenly restriction training is not easy to fucking get. Brother over here acting like heavenly restriction is easy to get. Wait, fragment or just normal?
What is up, boys?
What is up, my boy? I would dab you up, but I like having a rib cage. I don't understand. You say you hate robots, but your friends all the time. Yeah, I don't fuck with robots that want to destroy sentient life, especially my home planet. But I like these guys because they're one of the boys. I'm a war criminal!
I remember that being Canadian, boss. My eardrums are dying from what now? They're dying from what now? Do you have headphones on or something? Oh, my brother Boogie's on. Yeah. Ah. Use collector what now? Brother, you still need help in ALPG, right? Because once you can get on ALPG, let me know so I can start helping you. I'm only playing this because I'm waiting on you. Really? Really? $23. 24. I'm getting pissed. I didn't. There was no one in it. There was no one there.
となくきやがれ。
Well, I got stuck. Oh shit, I got stuck. At least Shigaraki is easy to get. At least Shigaraki is easy to get.
大人